So here's the coin head of the mechanism, and it's pretty cool actually. What it shows are the last two coins played for every color. And then when you bet on a color, there's a tab that lifts up to show that the bet has been placed. Then what happens is the bottom nickel will get directed down to another area, which is the payout detection area. And that'll actually, the nickel will go down a chute, then be directed to another chute, and then held in place. At the end of the cycle, the color that has the ball in it, that particular slide area or chute area will move quickly to the right, which will then release the payout clock and allow the machine to pay out. If there's no nickel in that chute, the chute will move, but since there's no nickel in it, and the nickel is the thing that actually hits the clock release lever, nothing will happen, thus the machine won't pay out. So we'll go ahead and cycle it a couple times, and hopefully you'll see what I'm referring to. So I will bet on yellow. So what will happen when I cycle the mechanism, all of these tabs will reset, the yellow tab will go up, and then this nickel will get directed down into the payout area, the payout detection area. So sure enough, the yellow tab flipped up, the black tab resets. The nickel that was there fell down into the, we actually hit yellow. It's amazing. And so the nickel that was down there fell down in the detection area, and since yellow was selected, it released the clock and the machine paid. So let's actually select a couple colors. We'll pick black, yellow, and red. So the coins in black, yellow, and red all slid down to their corresponding holding area. And black hit. So again, the payout clock was activated so the machine could pay. Okay, this is the right side of the mechanism as you're looking at it from the front. And this is the side that controls most of the coin head. This first lever gets actuated directly with the handle when you're cranking the handle. And what it does is two things. It resets the tabs on the front of the coin head, which show which colors were bet. And it also opens the trap door to release the coins in the payout detection area. The next thing is this rod here. This rod is connected directly to the coin detector lever that's in the coin head, and if there is no coin in there, then this bar or this rod will move slightly to the right and lock out the handle from playing, so it'll prevent the machine from being played for free. The next lever, which is this guy, operates the chute. There's actually 7 chutes which guide the coins into the coin detection area. And when it's at rest, these chutes are not lined up with the primary chutes that are in the mechanism. And so if a coin goes down them, they'll just be directed directly into the coin tube. But when the machine is played properly, this series of chutes will lift up just in time for the coins that are being ejected out of the coin head to go into the coin detection area. So we'll go ahead and cycle it, and you should be able to see all of this going on. And we actually bet on yellow, and yellow hit. So let me zoom in on the area where all those chutes get lifted up, because it's pretty interesting. Okay, you should be able to see the chutes that come out of the coin head, and then the corresponding chutes which go in the coin detection area. So I'm going to play 4 coins. And so you should have seen the coin chutes that are connected to the coin head lift up, so they align perfectly with the coin chutes for the coin detection area, and then the nickels were directed into that area. So here's a close-up of the tube which holds the coins for the payouts. Obviously this is the tube right here. Up here is a mechanism for directing the coins once the tube gets completely full into the cash can, and down here is the actual slicer. Right here is a ring. There's actually a little door here that will swing open. If there's any coins that are jammed, the operator just has to slide this ring up, open up that door to fix any coins that are jammed or anything like that. So it makes it pretty easy for the operator to deal with coin jams. They don't have to pull the whole mechanism out. Pulling the mechanism out of the cabinet is not difficult, but it's definitely a 2-person job. Better if you have 3 people, and just a lot easier if you can work on it with it in the mechanism. So I think that's why they did that, so the mechanism doesn't have to be pulled in and out near as often. So we'll go ahead and play the machine, and you'll observe we'll hit a winner so you can observe the coins being sliced out of the tube. And we'll bet on red, white, and blue, which is the largest payout. So I caught the ball. We'll stop the wheel. And I'll put it in red, white, and blue. So you can see it throws them out with pretty good authority. We'll zoom in so you can get a really good view of it. So here's a close-up of the mechanism to direct overflow coins into the cash box. And so as you probably saw, this thing just moves down, and if there's any coins up there, it'll send them down this chute, and there's another chute that connects to this when the machine's in the mechanism or in the cabinet, which sends it down to the cash can. So like I said, the machine pays off via a coin slicer, which is right there. The coin slicer is connected to a vertical lever, which then is operated by a timing mechanism that's over on the left-hand side of the mechanism, which I'll show you shortly. But we'll go ahead and show a payoff with the vertical lever operating the coin slicer. Okay, we hit a 70-cent payout. And if you counted, it operated 7 times at 10 cents per swipe, which is 2 nickels, so it paid out 70 cents. There are 2 large vertical springs which provide all the energy for the machine to run. The spring on your left is what provides the energy to run the coin payout mechanism. The spring on the right is the one that provides energy for everything else. Everything from spinning the wheel, raising the wheel, operating the coin head, all that. This large gear here is what is connected directly to this spring, to the bottom spring there. And if you can see, the top of the spring is looped around the gear right there. So we'll force it to hit a payout, and you'll see the spring pulling this gear down, which is then running the large payout gear on the far right-hand side of the machine. Right-hand side as you face the rear, that is. And so now, as you can imagine, that very tight spring has exhausted most of its energy. So the next time you play the machine, when you cycle the handle, it's going to be much harder to cycle because you need to rewind that spring. So the main spring, which controls all the timing, all the mechanism except for the payout, is connected to this large gear here. That is connected to a much smaller gear right here, which is also connected to this long shaft, which controls some other timing. Then you can see a large gear here, which will spin this shaft very quickly, which is connected to actually the timing clock, which is right here. So that controls how fast that gear is allowed to spin, or that spring is allowed to unwind. On this timing shaft here, there are a couple cams. This cam here, when it spins around, operates this lever, which is connected to the coin tube overflow area, which directs the overflow nickels to the cash can. It is also connected to this bar here, this lever here, and as the wheel spins, this cam will rotate, causing this lever to go down, which is connected directly to the axle of the wheel, which will raise the wheel up. When the machine is cycled, when it first begins spinning, the wheel is raised up so the ball can be easily thrown into the tray area to spin around. And then as this shaft rotates, it will gently lower the wheel. So it's a pretty ingenious way of raising and lowering the wheel. So we'll go ahead and cycle it, and I'll just zoom in on that area. So here's a shot of the mechanism which actually raises and lowers the wheel. The way the machine causes the wheel to spin is actually pretty interesting. On this main shaft here, there's a gear which has a chain connected to it. That chain transfers energy to this gear here, which then is connected to another gear that's on the axle of the roulette. Just below that is a platform with 4 little ledges on it, which acts like a ratchet. So when the machine spins in one direction, those little ratchet arms are lifted out of the way and the machine's allowed to cycle, or allowed to spin. However, if the wheel spins the other way, then it will actually catch onto that lip and will engage it. So what happens is this gear will spin counterclockwise as you're looking, actually it'll spin clockwise as you're looking down, which will cause it to hit these little ledges on this platform, and these legs will then lock into place and cause the wheel to spin. So we'll go ahead and cycle it and you should be able to see what I'm talking about. So hopefully you get the gist of what's going on, but it's a very clever and very simple way of causing the wheel to spin. Okay, now you're looking at the left side of the mechanism as you're facing the front of it. This is the side that has all the gearing to do the payout, and it also has the tilt. The Caille Roulette has a mechanism to prevent payouts if the machine is jostled, so to prevent people from cheating. And the way that works is you've got this large tilt plumb bomb right there, and when it moves, it causes this lever to hit this little guy that's going to be spinning around, which is your timing mechanism. So it prevents the timing mechanism from running. Then when the machine is cycled, this main operating shaft spins around and will reset it. So very, very simple, but very effective. These gears I pointed out earlier, these are just to connect to the clock to control the timing on the main mechanism. There's another clock just on the inside, right in here, which does the same thing for the payout. This large wheel here is your payout control disc. What it does, it has little pins that are sticking out, which hit a lever, which is down there, and when that lever is hit, it causes the slicer mechanism to operate one time to spit out 2 nickels. So each one of these represent 2 nickels that will be paid out. On the other side are tabs, which are used to stop the mechanism, the payout mechanism, when the appropriate number of nickels have been paid out. So we'll go ahead and cycle it, and we'll hit a large payout, and you can see how this side of the machine runs. Now we'll do it the same thing again, but this time we'll hit the tilt lever. So the machine's been played, it's spinning, they hit the machine, so it causes that to happen. Now when we hit the payout, it stops the payout. So very simple, very effective. Then when we cycle it again, it will reset it. So this is being shot from the right-hand side of the mechanism as you're looking through it. Over on the far left, you'll see a very big disc. And on that disc are little knobs or tabs that are sticking out. And there are different diameters within the circle. So there's a total of 7 of those. And those represent how far that wheel will be allowed to spin during a payout. And there are horizontal fingers, which are really hard to see, but there's horizontal fingers that extend over to that wheel. And when a coin has been played, that wheel will spin until that tab hits that finger. So if it's a 2-coin payout, that wheel will only spin a very short distance. If it's a larger payout, obviously it'll spin larger, but those vertical fingers are what control how many coins or how much that wheel will spin, which then corresponds to how many coins will be played. So here's the underside of the wheel, and the way the mechanism works is when a ball falls into a pocket, it pushes down on a little tab. So you can probably see the little tabs going down as I'm pushing them. And each little tab has a little piece of metal sticking out of it at a different distance from the end of the wheel. And all the tabs that are in the red spots have the same location of the tab coming down. Blacks are different, yellows are different. Red, white, and blue, I believe, is on the very end. That's red, white, and blue. And so when that tab is down, it actually will trip the corresponding vertical lever, which corresponds to that color. That in turn will release a horizontal, it's not a slide, but it's a horizontal lever, which will cause it to rotate towards the right of the mechanism, which will then release the corresponding finger, which is the stop for the payout disc. And at the same time, there's a large lever right here that also gets tripped, which is a brake on the mechanism. It's a leather pad that slides against the wheel to slow the wheel down, to stop the wheel quickly. And then once that occurs, there is the coin mechanism that's holding the coin that got dropped when we first cycled the mechanism slides to the right for the particular color that got hit. If there's a coin in that pocket, that coin will hit another lever, which will then cause this arm to move counterclockwise or down, which will then release the clock to initiate the payout. So if there wasn't a coin in the color that was selected, that won't occur, and so there will be no payout. So I will put the ball in black, which was the color that I bet on, and I'll spin the wheel, and you should see this lever trip. The brake will get activated. One of these fingers will move. They don't move very much, so you may not even be able to see it. And then the the coin that corresponds to black, which is being held down in this area, which you can't see my finger, but will move to the right and cause the payout clock to start. So we'll do it again. This time I've got red, white, and blue hit, which will cause this top lever to swing to the right when the when that lever gets when that far right vertical lever gets tripped by the ball. Okay. So we'll do it again, but this time I bet on black, but I'll still have the ball fall in red, white, and blue. You'll see the same thing. This lever will move out of the way. However, since we didn't bet on red, white, and blue, this arm will not move, thus it will not release the clock. So sure enough, that horizontal lever moved, but the timing clock didn't start. Okay, this is the area that stores the coins to determine if a coin was bid on a particular color. The last time we ran it, we bid on 3 colors. We bid on black, yellow, and red. So there's a coin there for black, 1 for yellow, 1 for red. The black one is so far over to your right because that was the color that actually hit. So this thing that was holding the coin moved rapidly to the right, which hit a lever to enable a clock. So I'm going to bet on 1 color this time, which will be red, white, and blue, which is the 4th coin over. So a coin will appear there. These 3 coins will get sent down to the payout tube. So this little trap door here will open up to allow the coins to fall through. So the trap door opened, allowing those previous 3 coins to go to the payout area. Now see, the coin fell in the red, white, and blue slot. And black was hit, so there was no coin in the black hole area. So when it slid, it didn't hit the payout detection. So now we'll do the same thing, and this time we'll force a winner. We'll bet on red, white, and blue again. So the coin again is in the red, white, and blue hold area. This time it'll hit it. I put the ball in red, white, and blue. And sure enough, it paid off because this coin hit the payout detection area.